Welcome back, folks. This is another edition of Tech Tips. I'm Shireen Herrera, Patrick Lawson with Wind River Internet. We are here to talk about everything in technology with Wind River Internet, an amazing internet service provider, also offering IT for business and residential here in Fremont County. Patrick, we're kicking off fall here. Great topic. We're going to talk about multi-gig internet. I'm also looking forward to our next episode. Will be in November. Perfect time for the holidays. Hopefully we'll have some tips from Patrick on some great techie stuff for Christmas presents because he's the man to listen to. So Patrick, how have you been?
Been pretty good, pretty busy, real busy this summer.
Sounds like it.
I thought we should do a show about multi-gig internet, which is probably not a term you hear a lot about yet, but you will be in the future.
Yeah, and it sounds like obviously more gigs, the better. Is that correct?
Right,
okay.
right. So like when we started Wind River Internet, people were lucky to get 1 or 2 megs of DSL. We started doing fixed wireless. It was 10 megs.
And is megs MG?
Yeah, MG,
okay.
MB.
MB, sorry.
Yeah. And then now we offer 100 over fixed wireless, and we offer 1,000 on fiber optic.
Wow.
And now I'm happy to announce today we have a new plan where you can get 2.5. So you can get more than double for less than double the price. So
hey, that's a good deal by my math, and it's not the greatest, but that sounds like a good deal.
But yeah, we have some really cool technology. So like if you have
I have one of these.
So if you have one of these ones, these are capable of 1 gigabit ports. So in order to get this new multi-gig service, you have to have an ISP that can do it, which we might be the only one, I don't know for sure, but we're one of the first for sure, in Wyoming at least. And you have to have most likely fiber optic.
Right.
Because getting higher than that is extremely difficult, especially at long distances. Mm-hmm. So that's what this is here. And on outside your house, it looks something a lot like, like this in here.
Okay. In the box obviously is closed. Those things are built really well.
Yeah. Oh, this is kind of like more of what's inside of here. This heavy duty cable that's outside underground, an orange conduit comes up and goes into the house, and then a smaller, thinner cable comes out, and that's more flexible, so it can, even though it's glass, it can be wrapped around a pencil without breaking.
Oh, awesome.
And that's what goes into the house, and goes either into. This is what they call an ONT.
Okay.
And this takes the fiber optic and converts it to the Ethernet that goes into your router. Or we have these new routers that we were showing off in the last couple episodes where that ONT is built into the router. Mm-hmm. So it'll just go directly into the router. You don't have to have 2 pieces of equipment. So a lot of people in Arapaho and Ethete, they have these 2 pieces of equipment in their house. Now they're combined into one.
Okay, awesome.
So if you upgrade to the new 2.5 gig service, you'll also get just one of these new routers, and it'll up the Wi-Fi capacity from around 600 megs to at least double that. Mm-hmm. It kind of depends on your devices. So you have to have the ISP, you got to have the fiber, you got to have the right router. If you're a business, you need to have the right switches. Mm. Most of the switches are 1 gig switches.
Got it.
A lot of the new stuff is 2.5 gig. That's kind of why we're starting with 2.5 gig. Technically, we can do up to 10 gig. But there's very little equipment that supports 10 gig, let alone, why do you even need that
Right,
much?
I was just going to ask what business here locally would maybe need that much. But.
So larger businesses, mm-hmm. That have a lot of people, a lot of things going on, especially with video or surveillance and
what about
stuff
like a data center? Do those
data
things
centers,
need
oh yeah.
a lot?
For data centers, you're talking going up to 5, 10, 25, 40, 100, 800 gigs on a single strand of fiber is what we're capable of providing.
Wow.
In fact, we provide over 200 right now between our sites out on the reservation.
Great. Well, we'll have to get another fiber update too from Patrick when we wrap up the episode here. But Patrick, let's kind of go back to the different gig options, because obviously, is more gigs faster?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, because essentially that's what you're aiming for with your streaming and more people using it, more devices. I mean, every single month I feel like I have something plugged in extra to my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, if you're downloading the latest big video game and it's half a terabyte or something insanely large, and you're looking at it like, oh, this is going to take 16 hours. Well, if you had the 1 gig internet, it might take, half an hour or less. If you have the 10 gig, if you have the 2.5 gig internet, you're looking at like 10 minutes, or it's really, it's getting to the point where it's almost so fast, or it is so fast, it's faster than the media that you're saving it to. So then you got to worry about all these other different bottlenecks. Like, do you have the right cables? Do you have the right router? Do you have, an SSD in your PlayStation versus a hard drive? Because the hard drive isn't as fast as the internet coming in. It's kind of crazy that we're getting to this point where the internet, this used to be just reserved from going between town to town. And now it's at the point where it's going all the way to your router in your house.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are getting, like you said, faster, and other things not able to quite keep up with the speed of the internet. Why would you need these speeds? You talked about the 2.5 gig. Is that what an ideal for a family of, say, 4?
A dozen.
A dozen. Okay. So so you're talking 2.5 gigs is a lot.
It's really bragging rights, is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you have like the fastest and the best.
Hey,
so if you want to go to that tier, that's what you got. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, seriously, 1 gig's probably enough for most families.
Okay.
But if you're a power user, if you're doing a lot of uploading, or if you have a lot of surveillance on your property, those are things that eat up a lot of bandwidth.
What about people who are into crypto or doing the computer mining? Is that actually on the internet, or?
Yeah, it is on the internet.
Okay.
And actually, latency has more to do with it than the bandwidth. So just any fiber is actually way better. Like the time it takes from a packet to get to point A to point B from the server, that's called latency. And a millisecond is 1/1000th of a second. And what they consider low latency is anything under 100. And on that one, you want the smallest number possible.
Okay.
Most like cell phones and things are a couple hundred milliseconds. Some of the newer satellites are finally getting down to like 30 milliseconds or so. Our fixed wireless is around 10, and the fiber optics is half a millisecond or less.
Wow.
Depending on how far it has to go.
Okay.
So it's
fiber is
like,
better.
It is, if you're talking like the time it gets for real-time communications, if you're doing Zoom, phone calls, things where it has to be back and forth real fast, yeah, fiber is just light years, literally light years beyond anything else.
Light, pun intended.
And that's what these are right here. These are what go in the bottom of the unit, and they're little lasers that shoot the light that go across the cable. I just thought it was kind of fun to show
cool.
them. Yeah.
And we talked about fiber updates last time, but Riverton, Arapaho, Ethete, Fort Washakie, all locations with fiber.
Yep. We finally got all the equipment and all of the sites. So yeah, all of them can do this new XS GPON, which allows us to do a symmetrical up to 10 gigs. So we're starting with the residential for $119 a month. If people want to have the absolute best.
Yeah, that's great, Patrick. I love this, and it's kind of interesting as we all evolve with technology and AI. So does your world, and the technology gets better. Things increase in productivity, and one thing is fiber, like you said, is so much better, but it is really labor intensive.
Yes.
And so there's a whole thing, and that's why each area we've talked, I don't know how long I've been doing Tech Tips with you, but it's predated me. But we've talked about this progression with the fiber. Do you feel like you're getting closer and closer to finishing kind of the entirety?
I think when we started Tech Tips, we had about maybe 150 homes with service that could get it. Now we have over 1,000. And by the end of the year here, we're going to have over 1,500. And the next year, it's going to be around 2,000. The next year, it's going to be around 4,000. And then the next year, we're going to be around 6,000 homes. So we're really picking up steam now. And we laid a lot of the, like what they call it, middle mile that goes in between all the towns in the area. So now we're finally getting to the branches where we're able to connect the individual houses.
That's great.
So almost everywhere on the reservation is going to have it. Outskirts of Riverton, outskirts of Lander.
Always got to take care of the outskirts. Us folks out in the country, we need our internet. We need our soap operas. We need our streaming shows, whatever the modern day soap operas. So let's also talk about folks can upgrade too. Say they have a plan with you already. They're not a new customer.
So this does require us physically to go on site and change equipment.
Okay.
So this isn't something you can just call up and say, hey, I want the new 2.5 gig plan. Unless you're a new subscriber, then all new fiber optic people are getting the new gear.
Right.
Old people, we won't charge anything to switch you. Just let us know, and we'll schedule a time to go out there and replace what needs to be replaced to get those speeds.
Great, great. Do we have any questions, Terry? If you do have questions, remember you can ask them on Facebook, YouTube. You can also directly reach out to County 10. We do this every other month, and our next one, like I mentioned, will be in November, and hopefully we'll get those secret tips from Patrick on the greatest tech to get your kids or yourself or your loved one for the holiday season. But Patrick, internet's always such a popular topic. It is used so much. I don't know where would we be right now without the internet. I mean, isn't it so bizarre how much we rely on it? And so these faster speeds and things that sometimes,
printing things out, putting them in the car, driving them to another town, giving them to people.
Yeah, geez.
Wasn't that long ago?
Yeah. It feels like it with how far we've progressed in the last 10 years with technology, and in particular internet, and having this service is so great for Fremont County. So Patrick asks or answers any tech tip questions you have. We also have a topic every month. You can look back at episodes. We've did episodes live inside of the Tesla truck. We've done other, we did the vacuum robots, didn't we do that one?
Yeah, we did vacuum robots, home automation type stuff.
Yeah. I like the ones where we have show and tell stuff. Today we did too as well. We had the new fiber stuff as well, and then showing some of the older routers. And yeah, it's kind of cool to see the guts of how fiber works. Before we know it, Patrick, I'm sure this will be kind of the name of the game in the next 20 years for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Fiber.
Yeah. I think it's getting closer from the edge to the customer. So, I mean, all the technologies are, like even our fixed wireless, we put fiber to the tower, and so one of the towers that have fiber are able to do even faster speeds. And yeah, it's really exciting stuff. And I guess I just want to mention if you know anybody that lives in Fort Washakie, Charlietown, that is fully set up now, and we're switching everybody over. So if you got fixed wireless, we'll switch you to fiber for free.
Awesome.
So you don't have to pay anything at all. We just switch it over to the fiber and keep the same plan, or you can upgrade to one of the faster plans.
This has been interesting. Anything else, Patrick, on multi-gig internet? We kind of broke down, obviously, the reasons to get it, how to get it with Wind River Internet.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm not saying everybody should go out and get it, because it really isn't for everybody. But if you're that power user that just really wants to have the absolute best,
power hungry,
you can do it. And
internet power hungry.
We can get you set up. But you do have to have everything to take advantage of it. If you get this multi-gig internet, you're not going to see a difference if you're still using a computer from 5 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
You have to have the Wi-Fi 7. You got to have the latest Ethernet switch, and you got to have the newer Cat 5, 6 or Cat 6 cabling. And
now we're on the Cat 6. It was Cat 5 not too long ago.
And there's even Cat 7 and 8.
Oh yeah.
But I think you have to have it really at least Cat 5e, and then only like 150 feet or so. Can't be longer than that. Then it still works, it's just not as fast.
I always tell parents too, it's always interesting because it comes holidays, birthdays, whatever, buying some of these tech gifts for their kids, and then the picture is poor. The processing doesn't work. There's all these like bugs in it, and they spend all this money getting this thing, and it's like, well, you also kind of have to have these other things to elevate this, or you kind of wasted your money. And I assume you probably agree with that, with some of these tech gifts that are really eating up and require quite a bit of bandwidth when it comes to the internet.
Yeah, if you get a problem buffering because you're trying to watch something and somebody's playing Call of Duty and somebody else in a business meeting, something like that, then that's where you want to have more bandwidth.
Yeah. Well, fiber is better. That is the what I've taken away from this episode. But Patrick, it's always fun. I love tech tips. I hope folks get some great information out of it. You always provide great information. So we'll be back in November.
All right.